In 2018, out of the blue, a Twitter account had claimed that the sun had vanished. The individual who owned the account woke up to find that the sun hadn't risen over the horizon and has decided to use a Twitter account as a way to document and log what is happening while the events are still taking place. This video is part 1 of 3 where I cover the whole of the sun vanished story. Please consider subscribing if you want more content just like this one. The story begins on April the 30th, 2018 with his first tweet that only says, "Help." It's late in the morning and dark outside. Where is the sun?
This afternoon, panic is taking hold on the nation in response to the sudden disappearance of the sun, with violent riots taking place in just about every major city. We are receiving an influx of reports of ransacking and looting from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Washington, D.C., with hundreds more isolated incidents hourly. The president made a public statement this morning urging people to remain calm and stay in their homes. Meanwhile, experts are claiming this phenomenon to be in a bit similar to New England's dark day in 1780, and that things will return back to normal.
The power keeps going out and I keep hearing noise outside, sometimes far away, sometimes close. I can't sleep. I think the noises outside are gunshots, and it is still dark. The news said that it would be back to normal by now, but it isn't. Now the news isn't even coming on after losing signal on the TV. It only gets worse from the noises outside. TSV, after a poll on Twitter, he eventually decides to explore outside. I looked for stars or planets as you all suggested. The sky was absolutely pitch black. Could be because of clouds or something else. Day 3, no sign of daylight. It's only getting colder. In this video, TSV explains that something just flew over his house, along with a strange feeling of heat covering his house. It appears that whoever is flying these ships around are keeping the Earth warm so that it doesn't freeze over. Not long after, TSV receives a text from one of his close friends and finds out that he is still alive. His name is Danyan, and he has plans to pick up TSV at his house so that they can survive this apocalypse together. But then a new problem appears. This guy has been standing completely still with his back towards me. I have no idea how long he's been standing there. TSV sends the picture to Danyan. When TSV gets a response, in all caps it says, "Get away from the windows, keep all lights off, do not talk to them or let them in." To those of you asking, I'm doing alright hiding in my room and waiting this out. I haven't heard any more knocking, but I don't want to get anywhere near the front door and check, and don't worry, I have a way to defend myself if worst comes to worse. TSV shows a picture of a baseball bat. If anyone knows anything about what is going on, please message me. 911 and other emergency lines are not responding, and the only radio I have is out in the car, so I'm trying to gather as much information online as I can. After TSV asked for help on Twitter, he gets a response which shows that he is not the only person alive and that the sun completely vanishing is actually a global event. The person mentions under no circumstances must you look into the red lights. If you do, you'll become like the guy who is at TSV's door. We come back to find that Danyan, the guy who told TSV to stay away from the man at the driveway, is making a 9-hour drive to TSV's home, but may be slightly delayed due to having to stock up on supplies. TSV posts another image from Danyan showing words etched into a wall saying, "Beware of headlights." This name is what lots of fans of the TSV series have started to call the monsters in this universe. Not long after, while TSV is waiting for Danyan's arrival, one of the headlight creatures has broken into his home. I can see a faint light outside my bedroom window going downstairs to check it out. The next tweet shows Danyan questioning TSV about childhood questions after finding out that he looked into the light. He is doing this to make sure that who he is talking to is actually TSV and not somebody or something else. Yes, you are absolutely sure. Yeah, I'm sure. What street did both of us live on when we were kids? Why? Answer the question. Fraser Road. Okay, good. Damn, don't scare me like that. In the next tweet, we are then introduced to a character called Tucker. Screenshots from DMs between him and TSV. Tucker tells TSV about him and his friend Flynn, who were surviving together after the sun vanished. They were doing well until one day Flynn came back and seemed different. He started things that weren't making sense. It was then when Tucker realized Flynn had looked into one of the red lights. It was too late. Flynn and Tucker started to fear for his life due to his decreasing mental state, and it was then when Tucker had to make a very difficult decision. He now lives on his own and had to say goodbye to Flynn. The story of TSV is now expanded to a second account along with TSV's main account. We come back to a tweet from Danyan saying he has found enough fuel to actually make the 9-hour trip all the way over to TSV's house and will be there soon. But out of nowhere, TSV starts acting weirdly. I have a confession to make. I've been keeping something from you all. Over the course of the last week, I've been increasingly paranoid about someone or something coming into my home while I'm sleeping. And I don't think it's one of those lights. It feels different. I can't explain it, but I can sense it. And last night, after I put cans on the door handles, I've been waking up to clanging sounds, but I'm not sure if it's real or just my imagination. It appears something is wrong with TSV. He is waking up to the sound of clanging of the cans that he set up as traps in order to catch people if they break into his home, but then finding out that they've not been disturbed. TSV has also mentioned the sound of screaming at night, but when he records them, there is no sound of screams on the videos. This may mean that TSV could possibly be hallucinating these events. It appears that we will find out why this is soon enough. We start to see the effect on TSV's mental state in this tweet. This has been on my mind lately. Just curious, what year did we graduate high school? Lol, what? Never mind. This is quite strange of an answer from Danyan, considering the fact that he is the one that introduced TSV to the idea of asking the questions in the first place. It seems after TSV's read Danyan's reply, he became suspicious and starts to get a little aggressive. Answer my question, what year did we graduate high school? But we don't have time for this. Answer my question, answer my question. Are you okay? I'm fine. Sorry to say this, but I'm not sure if I trust you. Because of the argument between TSV and Danyan, TSV decides to part ways with him. It is clear that TSV is starting to become extremely paranoid. He shows this by putting flour on his floor so that he will be able to see footsteps if there is someone that has came into his home. To add to his paranoia, TSV receives an image from one of his friends in British Columbia showing only a strange dark figure in the corner of the room. First, we believe TSV was experiencing hallucinations in his head until he wakes up to find that the flower he placed earlier has been stepped on. It's now clear that TSV's home is not safe. TSV knows this and has decided to move next door to his neighbor's house that appears to be abandoned. After spending some time in his neighbor's house, TSV notices that the water he brought over is noticeably darker than the one from his neighbor's tap. As TSV spends the next while drinking the clearer water, he seems to become more clear-minded. This shows that whatever was going on with the water was clearly impacting his mental state. I was walking past the coffee table and noticed this was sticking out from under a couple magazines. I'm going to hang on to this. Don't look into the light. Don't move. They see motion. Don't produce light. They will see the strobe. Makes me wonder if there is anything else around the house. Notes, papers, anything I'm going to check and poke around. Found nothing yet, and still no response from Danyan or Tucker. I feel so isolated. Then, out of the blue, Danyan appears back in the story. I know you don't trust me, and I don't trust you. But if you are still you, you have to get low and get out of sight, whatever it takes. I've taken Danyan's advice, but I haven't seen or heard anything yet. Still deathly quiet. I couldn't see anything out of the window, but I quickly snapped a few pictures just in case before taking cover. I can't believe what I'm looking at. It's still there, making noise. I've locked myself in the bathroom where there are no windows, trying and failing to sleep. Not long after seeing the ship in the sky, a blue light appears to be shining from it. The blue light disappears, and the ship flew off. I left the bathroom. I'm trying my best to stay calm as I type this, but I think that there is a dead body in the middle of the street. Tucker sees TSV's Twitter post about the blue light and the ship. Tucker warns him about it, which shows he must have some understanding of what it is. I saw the picture you took with the thing in the sky. If you ever see one of those things again, get as low as you can, and if you do see the blue light, do not let it shine on you. A couple weeks later, TSV says this. The water from this house is dark. Now thankfully I filled bottles with clean water, but I won't be able to stay here much longer after I run out. This shows the creatures have started to infect the neighbor's water now. This means TSV must leave. With almost perfect timing, TSV hears a car horn from outside his house. It's Danyan. He's managed to make the drive and is here to save TSV. At your 11th birthday party I gave you a Batman Lego set. Is that good enough? Grab your stuff, let's go.